Yes, I'm wearing a Dante Culpepper jersey. Why? 25 bucks. Secondly, cool Batman poster. Comment your favorite Batman down below. Low-key a Batman nerd over here. Last year, we saw Patrick Mahomes win MVP after narrowly beating out Jalen Hurts. Nick Bosa won Defensive Player of the Year, Justin Jefferson Offensive Player of the Year, and more, of course. But sometimes we see a dark horse candidate come out of nowhere and win an award like DeMarco Murray, randomly breaking out in 2014 and winning Offensive Player of the Year. That's exactly what we're going to be looking for in this video. Guys who can break out and potentially come away with an award in the 2023 NFL season. First, we'll start with the obvious one, the MVP, the most prominent award in every single sport. The one guy that is currently plus 1600 on Sportsbook that I think has a real shot at winning this award is Trevor Lawrence of the Jacksonville Jaguars. If you watch my Generational Prospects video, then you know I think that he's one of the few guys with that title that can really live up to the hype. We saw a rocky rookie season 2 years ago with Urban Meyer, and last year's second half of the season was elite. After a 2-6 start, the Jaguars finished the year 7-2 and had that historic comeback in the wildcard game against the Chargers. In that time, Trevor was the second-ranked passer in the whole league, had 17 total touchdowns to 7 total turnovers, he was 5th in big-time throw percentage, and 3rd in passer rating. Trevor has all the elite skills: accurate, strong arm, athletic, big frame, and my god, his mechanics are great. He's got an insane hip torque when throwing the ball, has the weight on his back foot leading to more power in the ball, just everything. Trevor has everything he needs to have a successful 2023 season. Let's not forget the obvious, the weapons on this offense. They traded a conditional pick for Calvin Ridley. The last time we saw Ridley in a full season, he had 90 catches, nearly 1,400 yards, and 9 touchdowns. I have not seen a man as quick as he is. Nobody gets out of the break like him. Just look at this clip from training camp. I think Calvin comes back and plays great as the team's wide receiver 1. But we cannot forget about Christian Kirk as well. I mean, he had 1,100 yards and 8 touchdowns last year. All the weapons are great. Zay Jones as a wide receiver 3. Evan Engram had a good comeback season last year. Travis Etienne is a great explosive home run running back, and they used a day 2 pick on running back Tank Bigsby out of Auburn. Doug Peterson will find a way to help Trevor get all these guys involved. It won't be hard considering the talent. Having an offensive guru at head coach like Doug Peterson gives Trevor such an advantage over so many young quarterbacks in the league. Along with having the 12th easiest schedule in the NFL, the Jaguars aren't an easy division. The second easiest, in my opinion. That means they'll rack up a good amount of wins, I could say 10 to 11, giving Trevor a bigger chance to win the MVP. If Lawrence can find a way to play like the second half of last season all of next year, you'll have a real shot at beating the 2023 NFL MVP, and that plus 1600 bet would be pretty good for you. If there's one guy I think can come out of the depths of hell and win Offensive Player of the Year, it is Garrett Wilson of the New York Jets. Wilson is going to his second year in the NFL, has a huge QB upgrade, going from Zach Wilson and crew to Aaron Rodgers. Playing with 3 quarterbacks last year, Garrett's stats look like this. 4 games with Mike White, 22 catches, 353 yards, and 2 touchdowns. 5 with Joe Flacco, 33 catches, 381 yards, and 2 touchdowns. 9 games with Zach, 34 catches, 447 yards, and 0 touchdowns, for a grand total of 83, 1,103, and 4 touchdowns. With a bad QB play as a rookie, he had insane numbers. Garrett looked electric out of the jump, making splash play after splash play. He was top 15 in yards after catch per reception, 9th in PFF receiving grade, and overall just honestly could be an elite receiver, and you could say that as a rookie. He can run routes like the best of them. I mean, I think he's already top 10 in that aspect, using his amazing stop-and-go style of play to easily accelerate on the breaking part of routes. He also has amazing hands. I didn't really see him drop balls. I loved watching him play last year. Drafted him on my fantasy team as well. Now add Rodgers to the mix, a Hall of Fame quarterback, just 2 years removed from being a back-to-back MVP. I mean, the possibilities are endless. While he did not look as good as he used to be last season, maybe we can mark that up to worse receivers than he had before, with Devontae Adams leaving. Garrett fits the bill of Rodgers' elite receivers. Shifty, sneaky fast, good release off the ball, amazing route runner, and can just get open where Aaron needs him. This is why I think Garrett can explode into a top 5 receiver in the NFL in year 2, as we have seen from guys like Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase. Based on how Rodgers' number 1 receivers have played in recent years, Wilson is fully capable of getting over 1,500 yards. The team also brought in Nathaniel Hackett as their offensive coordinator. While he did fail as the Broncos head coach, he will be sure to install Aaron's system into New York. They even brought in half the Packers receiving core with Lazard and Cobb. And Aaron Rodgers' run offense goes through the number one receiver and the running backs. Hackett helps that system run smoothly, and with a lack of real target competition from other receivers, expect Garrett Wilson to have a big year and be my dark horse candidate for Offensive Player of the Year at plus 2,500 odds. To be completely honest with you, I feel like skipping Defensive Player of the Year. I think it's for sure going to be one of the top 4 guys: Micah, Nick Bosa, Myles Garrett, or TJ Watt. So genuinely, there's no reason to go over this in my opinion, but I will very quickly. Aiden Hutchinson can come into his second year and dominate the whole league to be a top tier defensive lineman. He can play anywhere, inside, outside, hell, he even got 3 picks. Let's put him on a tight end or running back. Why not, Dan Campbell? Through 17 games, he had 10 stops, 9.5 sacks, played the second most snaps among edge rushers, and was near top 20 in every PFF grading category. He really is a monster, and his impact next year will be insane. While he is the only real pass rush threat outside of James Houston, it doesn't matter. He was the most double-team pass rush in the league, and still put up those numbers as a rookie. Hutch is the total package, and that will show out this season, and he will prove to Jacksonville they should have taken him as the number 1 pick over Trayvon Walker, which we already knew anyway. Again, this one will be short, because I don't think there's a way anyone outside the top 4 wins this award, but Hutchinson is my pick for a dark horse candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. Next, we have Coach of the Year. It's a very interesting one. A lot of times goes to the coach of a team that came out of nowhere. Last year, the exact situation with the Giants head coach, Brian Daboll. As for a dark horse guy, it's between 2 teams and 2 coaches that I'm not really the biggest fans of. Dennis Allen of New Orleans Saints and Arthur Smith of the Atlanta Falcons. I think the coach of whatever team wins the NFC South will get the award because that team can have 10 wins due to the easy schedule that the Falcons, Saints, and Panthers all have, as they're all in the top 5 of strength of schedule. Smith is an offensive coach who loves to run the ball, uses a ton of motion, and uses the run to set up play-action passes to make his quarterback life easier, as seen in Tennessee. Last year, the Falcons ran the ball the most in the entire league. I expect them to do that with 3 good running backs in Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier, and Cordero Patterson. With Desmond Ridder entering year 2, if he is good and can lead this team alongside Smith and the weapons to 9 to 10 wins in an easy division, it's an easy Coach of the Year for Arthur. As well as their improved defense with guys like Jesse Bates being signed, they could potentially do something there in Atlanta. As for Dennis Allen, he's more a defensive guy. They brought in Derek Carr, Michael Thomas back healthy, we think, Olave year 2, Jamal Williams as a running back 2, overall a ton of weapons for Carr. On defense, they snagged Brian Brees at 29, Isaiah Foskey in round 2, and the veterans are still there. Demario Davis is still a top linebacker. They have the easiest schedule in the league, and are the favorites for the division. While I think Dennis Allen is straight garbage, again, if the Saints can get 10 wins, he can win the award. I mean, we've seen Matt Nagy win Coach of the Year. Like, come on. Given the criteria for Coach of the Year, as of late at least, a rookie or early contract coach winning more games than expected, these 2 just clearly make the most sense to me. Offensive Rookie of the Year is simple because it's going to be Jordan Addison. Everyone thinks it will be Bijan, and low-key I hope so because he's on my fantasy team, but Jordan is in a great position. A solid quarterback and the best wide receiver in Justin Jefferson next to him, meaning he will have the number 2 corner on him at all times. With Adam Thielen and Dalvin Cook gone, there are so many vacated targets awaiting Addison's sweet hands. Keep in mind, Thielen had 19 red zone targets alone last season, so Addison, and Jefferson of course, will be the benefactors of those targets now in Carolina. We see a lot in the preseason and in camp that can excite us for his rookie season. Like that toe tap, somehow no catch against Seattle. It was a catch, come on. He's such a dynamic playmaker that will just add so much to this Vikings offense that they have needed. And they need an elite offense to win the NFC North for back-to-back years, since their defense is atrocious. He is good after the catch. He's a great route runner as well, and his footwork is just incredible, as we saw on that toe tap catch and just throughout preseason in general. Addison has been killing camp and joint practices to the point where I think he can get 1,000 yards right out of the gate, which is definitely enough to win the award. Let's see if Kirko, the drip god, can help Jordan Addison become a star right out of the gate. The dark horse for Defensive Rookie of the Year is easy. It's Nolan Smith. The Eagles' edge rushers are mostly all old, which kind of means that there might be a lot of personnel changes on like second and third downs because people like Brandon Graham may not be able to play all 3 downs, for example, of course. Nolan Smith is also an insane athlete. He ran a 4.39 40, had nearly a 42-inch vertical jump. That's almost as tall as me. He's just so explosive. Coming off the edge, that speed is scary, as 300-plus pound offensive tackles won't be able to keep up with him at the snap if he just speed rushes them. He's very quick, and as always, gets his hands up quickly, which gives him the advantage immediately in pass rush situations. While he may not get a ton of snaps, I think he will make the best of them. We saw a guy like Josh Uche sack the quarterback 11.5 times last year while only playing 38% of defensive snaps in 15 games. James Houston had pretty good numbers in limited snaps as well as a rookie. Nolan Smith does have some stuff he needs to work on, like his weight, and sometimes his hands are an issue because he does not get control of them all the time. While he does get them up quickly, he doesn't get a ton of wins with them. He really just relies on his speed, which can be a problem. However, his potential is through the roof. I could see him having a similar role to Josh Uche, or someone like that, and can get about 7 sacks if he's used right, which is, as a versatile edge defender who can both defend the run and the pass. The Eagles are great at developing pass rushers, so let's see if the defensive coaches allow him to thrive in their amazing pass rush system. But he's really a dark horse to me, because I think Will Anderson is kind of a lock for this award, or maybe even his teammate Jalen Carter. An award that I don't feel like is worth going over is Comeback Player of the Year. Yes, it could be like a Calvin Ridley or something, but for all the right reasons, it will be going to Damar Hamlin. Prayers up to him and his family as he continues to grind for the Bills, and hopefully has a strong second year as the Bills' backup safety. But yeah, that's it. Some of these may seem out of reach to you, and I agree. I feel like Nolan Smith is a reach, but it's dark horse for a reason. A lot of these guys have a real chance at winning the award, though, and it really isn't being talked about enough. So here we are today. If you believe anyone else has a chance of winning one of these awards besides like the top guys like a Mahomes or something, comment your thoughts down below. I'm curious what you think. And with all that being said, that is for me, guys. Thank you for tuning into Fanatic Sports. If you made it this far in the video, come on. Please like and subscribe. All support means the world to me, and I appreciate it a lot. Also, follow me on Instagram at FanaticSports25 and on Twitter and TikTok at Fanatic Sports. This is Joe, who forgot his football at a friend's pool, signing off.